Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Another Snowrunner video. This one just covering off the crane operations, the crane module that you can attach to the back of your trucks. This one catches people out. It's a bit fiddly at times, so it's worthwhile just having a quick look at the of how to operate it for those struggling with it. And I have struggled with it, to be honest. But it's like anything, once you've got the hang of it, it's becomes a little bit easier. I've not used the large crane module yet, but I guess the principle is going to be the same. So this is the smaller crane module that sits on the back of the truck between the cab and the, in this case, the flatbed that I'm using on the back of this Royal BM17. The Royal BM17 is certainly one of the better trucks early game, and it can be found in Northport, Alaska, and it's significantly better than the Paystar, and it's a really good upgrade to have. I'm sure there are better trucks than this in the game for this type of haulage, but I'm fairly early days for me in this particular map, so I'm sure there's stuff out there that I've not yet discovered. So we're just going to hang a right here in a second, and we're going to find the two containers that we need to collect. We're going to have to do them one at a time, I'm afraid, but there we go. So we turn in here, and you get to this point, it's like, oh, now where do I go? It seems to have a bit of a dead end, but it's just between the trees there. I actually checked the map in a minute just to kind of double check, and yeah, as you see there, it's just a very slight path through the trees to the cargo containers, and fortunately that means we have to go past the trees of doom, or the tree branches of doom, and anybody who's played this game long enough will know what I'm referring to. So yeah, turn right through there, and here they are, two containers, middle of the water. Not ideal. So we need to get in the middle of that lot to try and get them out. Now the water level is a bit deep here. I've not got resuspension, so luckily we don't do any damage, but we do get a warning. So the first thing you need to do once you've parked up is extend the support legs, activate anchor as it's called on the menu there. So we do that, and then we press X on the controller in this on my game on the PC to activate Transformers mode, as I'd like to call it. Get the crane out. And then this is a bit fiddly when you're trying to operate the boom with your thumbsticks, and I always seem to go the wrong way. When I go left I seem to go right, and vice versa. And then you can use a combination of the shoulder buttons to extend the boom with the left thumbstick, and then basically you want to get that white line over your target area, and then hit A to attach, and then use the shoulder buttons and the combinations of the boom mechanics to get it out and lift it up. And then this is the kind of tricky bit here. Now you've got to get it over the flatbed reasonably straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can straighten it up by using some magic, as you'll see in a minute. So just get it over the best you can is all I'd say. Try and get it fairly square. I seem to be making quite a big zero of this, to be fair, at this point, but I do get there in the end. So over the flatbed, and you can use the D-pad to rotate the cargo in small increments to get it as close as you can, and then once you've got it, drop it down, detach it, and then the most important thing now is to pack the cargo. Don't just drive off at this point. You need to make sure that it's secure. So get to your menu, and there's an option there to pack the cargo. So do that like so, and that secures it. And then the next thing you can do then is restore the crane, which also withdraws the anchor posts as well, which I didn't realise it did. So restore the crane, and then you're good to go. So we're gonna move out of this map. We're gonna head straight on, and then we're gonna come left through quite a bad muddy area, which It's not. It doesn't look too bad, but it can be quite tricky. Even with chain tyres on, it can be quite a tricky area. But we're going to go through there, then we're going to head left, and then straight over the bridge to the port. The bridge that we're going to go over is one that you will have done on a previous mission. So this assumes you've already done that. So a quick pause here for a photo opportunity. As you can see, those chain tyres looking really good on here, and this hill poses no problem for it whatsoever with the chain tyres on, which is always nice. It's a bit tricky up here, a bit windy, but again not too much of a problem. You just got to keep an eye out for the rocks. They will have you if you're not careful, and these cargo containers do increase the centre of gravity quite significantly on the flatbed, so be careful when you're throwing this thing around in a corner that you could have taken at speed with nothing on the flatbed. You can you might not be able to take it quite as quick with this for fear of tipping it. Now this is the bit that's tricky. We're going to go left here towards the port, and you can turn right to the gas station, but we're going to go left here, and this bit here is quite tricky. It looks quite unassuming, but it's quite deep mud, and it catches most vehicles out early game. You'll see we're okay here, and then now it starts to bog down. Now luckily we've got a couple of anchor points that we can winch to. We've got a telegraph pole on the left hand side and trees on the right, so it's not a complete disaster. We are going to need the winch, I'm afraid, to get out of here. It does get stuck on this hill, stuck on this brow here, so we just need the winch a couple of times to get a bit of momentum over that hill, but once we're over it's all good. And on we go. So hang a right here. Another quick pause for a photo op. I have to say the graphics on this game do look particularly amazing. They've done a really good job with the whole package, actually, not just the graphics and the engine and the draw distances and the details in the maps. Quite phenomenal. But yeah, they've done a superb job, and I'm assuming the budget for this would have been significantly lower than the budget for some so-called AAA title, so you bear all that in mind, and it's quite remarkable actually what they've come out of the bag with. Very, very impressive indeed. So over the bridge, this is a bridge that you would have done as part of a mission. You'd have put that together as part of a mission earlier in the game, and here we go. We're on our way to the port. This is fairly straightforward now. Downhill here. Now this is quite tricky. Downhill, or can be quite tricky downhill here. But it's with the chain tyres on it, it makes all the difference. So straight on there. And then drop off the cargo and off we go. And then we'll just go back and grab the other one. So just go back the same way, really. Back the same way. We'll enter the same way. And give us a chance to have another look at the graphics and the scenery as we fly past. Like I said, I think they've done a really good job with Snowrunner, and You know, it's testament to the developers and Sabre and Focus Home Entertainment for, you know, for bringing it all together. It's you know, there are many other games of a similar nature that don't have this level of detail, don't have this level of professionalism, and certainly don't have this level of consumer engagement, which this particular title does. It doesn't punish you for anything. You know, if you buy a mod or buy an upgrade, you can sell it back at the same price. You can move around. You know, you can move all your trucks around all the maps, and there's no penalty for doing that. And it's just a really consumer-friendly game. It's a really nice consumer-friendly game, and on top of which it's pretty excellent at what it does. And as you can see, they've you know, they've really knocked it out the park in terms of the graphics capability. The maps are beautifully crafted, and the attention to detail is phenomenal, really, especially with some of the smaller detail of the rocks and the trees and the landscape. And on top of that, you've got the day-night cycle as well. It's just a really good title. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Yeah, it's only early days. I think it came out on April 28th. It's fairly early days. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it over time. But certainly, you know, 10 out of 10 for getting it out in this condition. You know, came out on day one. I mean, I do understand there's a few bugs on PlayStation. I believe I'm playing on PC. I've not experienced anything on PC at all. I understand there's some bugs to be ironed out on the PlayStation version, but they seem to be quite a dedicated set of people. They seem to be dedicated to their product. So I don't doubt for 1 minute that those issues will be ironed out in due course. Yeah, missed the turn in here. Wasn't quite concentrating, looking at where I was going. And I think you can actually get in a bit further along there, but I just decided to back up and take a right here. Again, it's fairly easy around this corner. Not too problematic at all. And then we're back to the cargo again. So same operation as before. Now this time you'll notice that my engine does start taking damage with water damage. Nothing too considerable, but there you go. And we've got a bit of damage there. So this is fairly deep here. So just something to bear in mind if you come with something a bit lower. So same as before, activate the anchor and away we go. Get your target point, attach it. Like I said, the boom's always the trickiest bit. I always seem to get left and right mixed up, and depending on which way you're looking at it, but it's just a bit fiddly. You'll get the more you do it, you'll get the hang of it, I'm sure. But just got to winch it round, get it on the flatbed, try and get it on as straight as you can, and then use the D-pad to rotate the cargo. Rotating the cargo can take a little while. But as you can see here, I can't quite get it low enough to rotate it properly, so I have to keep lowering it down to rotate it a little bit more. And then once I've got it low enough, it starts turning round. And then just push it back a little bit towards the back end of the trailer, and then yeah, you see there, I got it the wrong way, and there we go. Get it down. Go on, you. There we go. That's there we go, and then detach it. Pack the cargo. Pack it up. Most important to do that. And then restore the crane. Handbrake off, and off we go. So there we go. This time I'm going to go back out the way we originally came in, just past the trees of doom again. Managed to miss the branches quite easily, so that's all good here. Come through here, hang a sharp right, and back onto terra firma. Hang a right here, then straight down to the port, over the bridge, straight down to the port, and job done. So I suppose that's a reasonably good demonstration of the crane and a typical mission in Snowrunner. I mean, what's, you know, this video is going to be there or thereabouts 18 minutes, you know, and that's probably a fairly quick mission actually, and that's bearing in mind that I know where I'm going and what I'm doing to a degree. The individual missions can be significantly longer than that, and equally there are some that are a lot shorter, so it just gives you an idea of the type of thing that you can come up against, and the more proficient you get at driving the trucks and the better the trucks that you use, and it all comes easier as time goes on. But yeah, this is the bridge I was talking about earlier. I think you have to build this in a previous mission, so you can't get across here. When you first come into Northport, you have to put that bridge together, which is all fine. And then down the hill, make sure you don't slalom down here. This can be tricky without chain tyres, and you know, particularly tricky without four-wheel drive. So straight into Northport. Into the port, drop the container off, and job done. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's been useful, and in terms of operating the crane, can be a bit fiddly, but persevere with it, and there we go. We just complete this task, and job done. So on that note, I shall leave it with you, and hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.